I'm going to talk to you about the web, the interactive web, social media, and the age of convergence. Okay, does everybody know what age we live in now? The information age? Have you heard of that? It's not the industrial age anymore, right? Because manufacturing is kind of, right, the industrial age moved away, and then the information age took over. We're going to talk about that. So I'll give you a little bit of a history lesson. So I can put on my VCU professor bow tie today to do that. Also, it was hot. It was 100 degrees out today, so I had to bring out the seal sucker. The big question that I always get once in a while, I get a lot, what's next, right? What's next? I don't know. No, but I'm going to make a few guesses at that, because if I really knew what was next, I would have bought Google at $75 a share. What's convergence? What does that mean? What kind of brand are you? All right, I'm going to, how many of you are small businesses? Okay. How many of you are bigger, larger businesses? How many of you work for like Fortune 500? Okay, I didn't think so. Okay, we got one Fortune 500. Cap one? Is that the one? All right.
No,
I thought we only had one.
Media General, soon to be.
Media General. There you go. Berkshire Hathaway Corporation. And my former employer. 5 strategies for social media marketing. There are only 5. Okay. There's 500 and some platforms out there, but there's only 5 things that you can do. And I'm going to tell you what they are. And then no matter what you do, if you sell Mary Kay, or if you sell mulch, or if you sell tax and business solutions, 7 strategies that you can use. All right, sound fun? All right, 40 minutes, I'm going to try to get it into 30. How's that?
Yes.
Okay. So you can go back to work. All right, here we go. I have prizes too, so anyway, who wants to tell me when the internet was invented?
Al Gore did it.
Al Gore did not invent the internet. Al Gore was a senior at Harvard. When?
64.
Nope.
1991.
No.
It's 93.
You're closer.
69.
69. Who said that?
Sam.
Yeah, oh, you saw it the other day, Sandy. Hand him a Swiss Army knife. There we go. Yeah, 69. So the idea of new media being new. Okay, so how many of you think the internet's new and is a fad, it's going to go away?
You're right.
Believe it or not, I talked to a Richmond business owner a couple years ago who told me that. The internet really actually goes back to 1948. Advanced Research Projects Administration, ARPA. And in 1969, the same people that were, they wanted to figure out a way that they could get the government and the military talking to each other through college campuses. All right, but it didn't really do much for a long time. I'm going to skip a lot through the timeline. 57, Al Gore was born. All right, there you go. Just giving you some jokes here. All right, great. 67, really important. I was born, and at 2 years of age, I invented the internet. No, he didn't. Okay. 69, the internet comes along. 77, something really wonderful happened in 1977. Actually, it wasn't wonderful at all. It was the first piece of spam was sent out, unsolicited email. All right. So the purpose is that the internet's been around for a little while. Okay. Different stuff. 1986, the very first company to use the internet for marketing purposes started advertising on the web in 1986.
Who was it?
Pizza Hut. Pizza Hut. The idea was that you go to the page, you print it out, and you hand it to the driver. So they use the internet as a coupon. But they still do it, right? But it worked. The only problem was the only people really on the internet were all based in Northern California at that point. Skipping along a few more things. Blogging. Do you think blogging's new? 10 years. The word blog appeared in the New York Times 10 years ago. All right. So one of the things I'll tell you today is blog. If you have a company, big, small, whatever, you need a blog. All right. You have to. Sorry, it's not an option anymore. All right, it's 2002. Lots of stuff happens. Friendster, MySpace. Everybody on MySpace still? All right, good. Just checking it out. All right, we go through the thing, and then basically we get to the end, 2010. 2010 is what I'm calling the end of the information age, and that year is when the age of convergence started. Okay? I had it over here. Where's my... Oh, I'll put it here. Everybody have one of these? All right. In 1986, when I graduated high school, there were only 15,000 of these things in the world.
They were bigger.
Huh?
They were a lot bigger.
And they were a lot bigger. My dad had one. Plugged into the car, you know, he thought he was doing something. Sold it, and the phone went with the car. Remember those days?
Yeah.
Top Gun, tops of the box office, Walk Like an Egyptian, top of the charts. Dynasty, who remembers that? All right.
It's coming
Pizza
back.
Hut, first company to advertise on the web. Now, a little personal history. I had a mullet. She said I was from Lynchburg, so that explains it. I was at VCU. Forget that. That's a Diet Pepsi I was holding in my hand. But anyway, I didn't have a cell phone, but I ate a lot of Pizza Hut. All right, so 18 years old, right? All right, so and I thought MC Hammer was the greatest thing ever. All right, here we go. 2012. Facebook, 1 billion users by August, with a B, 1 billion. Justin Bieber tops the charts. Yeah. Incidentally, discovered on YouTube, the social media site. American Idol, top-rated TV show. More people paid to use this to text their vote into American Idol than use the phone for free. Think about that. More people paid to text than walk over to the phone in the house and call the 800 number. Why? Because we've lost 15 million home phones in the last 5 years. People don't have home phones anymore. They're using these. All right. 3.4 billion people on the planet have a cell phone. All right. 1 out of 7 people in the world have internet. Right? Have a computer that you plug in. But 50% of them have a phone that they can access the internet for. So lesson number 1, can your website be seen on this? Can it be found on this? What's the first thing you're going to do when you get out of here today? You're going to call somebody about how my website gets found on one of these things. All right? The age of convergence. The best part, I got to meet MC Hammer. All right. I did. I got to meet him. Met him through Twitter, went to New York, hung out with him. MC Hammer looks identical to he did 25 years ago. I got old and fat. I have no idea. All right, so what do we got? Social media current state. The amount of people using social media will exceed the amount of people using email this year. All right, just jaw-dropping stuff. 1 billion people on Facebook, right? Fortune 2500, including your company and all the big guys, all right, half of their marketing dollars are now on new media, not the old stuff. Do you want to find out what the big guys are doing first? The small guys need to figure out what the big guys are doing because they got more money. And sometimes they're smarter. All right? Half of the money they're spending on marketing goes to the media. If you go to CNN, this is a sad commentary on society. If you go to CNN, the average amount of time you spend there is 3.5 minutes. The amount of time you spend on Facebook is 35 minutes. 10 times the amount of content delivery through Facebook than CNN. All right, 59% of the U.S. watches online video, and in December, which is the most recent month, the average amount of time spent watching online video was 23 hours. It was almost the exact same for watching television. So people are watching online video at the same rate that they're watching TV. It's about 45 minutes a day. So what's next? Y'all want to know? All right, 7 predictions in terms of what's next. What does the age of convergence look like? The physical and digital world becomes more highly connected. Foursquare. Okay, since everybody has one of these with Yelp and Foursquare and all the other things, you're getting more and more physically connected. Through Facebook, you check in. Through Foursquare, you check in. You're physically telling people where you are. So you are physically connecting the physical world to the digital. Augmented reality. Our perception of reality is being changed by technology. If you don't believe me, get an HD TV, right? 3D movies, HD television, augmented reality applications. It's changing the way we look. It's like I would rather watch the HD version of my son's baseball game than watch it in person because it looks so crystal clear on HD. And it was a little dusty out at the ball field, right? See what I'm saying? It's changing our perception of reality in terms of the content that we're absorbing. Augmented reality in real world applications. In Korea, they asked folks in Korea. Koreans are, by their very nature, very industrious people. They don't like wasting time. They said, what are the 2 things that you do that you hate, that waste the most time? And they said, riding the train and shopping for groceries. So Tesco, which is a British supermarket chain that operates in Korea, went to the subway system and basically made printouts of all their products. And so Koreans walk up to the wall while they're waiting for the train and go milk, eggs, deodorant, click, and the groceries arrive at their house when they arrive at the house. All right? So buying things with ease. In the Far East, in Japan and Korea and other places, you can buy stuff with your cell phone. We're just starting to get into that. Number 3, web users are going to have more rights and less privacy. Who wants more rights? Who wants more privacy? Pick one. Right? And this is part of the thing, government versus Google. In terms of our privacy, we're getting less of it as a converged world. But we're getting more rights because people are using social media platforms to throw out 35-year-old entrenched third world dictators in Egypt and in Libya. And then they're posting it immediately to YouTube, where we can all watch it 45 minutes before CNN reports it. So think about it. We are actually becoming more active as citizens, but part of that is we're having more rights. Number 4, human relationships are more dependent on digital. My wife texts me saying we need milk. She doesn't call me. Maybe it's because she doesn't want to talk to me. But I get the text message. Yeah, pick up this, da-da-da-da-da-da, you know. And it's because it's easier for her than she doesn't want to talk to me. But anyway, there's... Think about this, too. 1 out of 5 people that got married in January of this year met online. eHarmony, Match.com. Fred, there's hope. All right. I know, Fred. I'm just giving you a hard time. All right, ready? So, in the future, we won't search for information. Since 1998, what have we done? Anybody know what happened in 1998? Mr. Gregory? Something, really big and important. Something happened in 1998 that changed the way we access information forever. Google. Yeah, there you go. Here you go. Another prize. Google. Google was invented. Here's the episode of Gotcha, the latest publication. Sorry. Here's some booze as well. All right, so I was hoping the attorney I could give the Gotcha to, but that's okay. Right answer, Mr. Gregory. 2 points. All right. We used to have to look it up. Right? You had to go to the library. You had to ask somebody. You had to grab a book. You had to go get the phone book. All right. We don't do that anymore. We Google it. Right? But now here's the thing. We went out to Google to find the information. Now the information finds us. So go to Google and type in best dry cleaner in Powhatan, VA. And before you can actually type in the P in Powhatan, it pops up. The information is finding us. So on Robbie Irvine's Facebook page, when it says he likes share, like it's one of his activities, if they tried to sell him a share CD, the information, I'm just making that up, Robbie, I'm sorry.
We're going to remember that.
The information finds us. That's semantic web. So think about that as an important dynamic shift. The information age, we look for information. Now we're in the age of convergence. The information finds us. All right. We are all becoming less passive and more engaged. As citizens, consumers, less passive and more engaged. All right? This is frightening for Generation X. By the way, who considers themselves Generation X? All right, I will. I'll admit it. Okay. Generation X, we've been lazy, we've been couch potatoes, we've been disengaged, we didn't vote, we didn't really give a poop. All right, but now we have found a tool that allows us to do that. Generation X is actually giving money to charities, and they're getting involved. And the boomers and the Gen Y that came before and after us are getting more involved. And we're voting, and we're throwing out 35-year entrenched Egyptian dictators, okay? Around the world, social media has changed it. Twitter, Facebook, you turn on the news. Even the way we access information. The world learned about Captain Sullenberger not from NBC or CNN or New York Times. The world found out about it because a guy crawled out on the wing and goes, "Holy crap, I just landed in the Hudson River from the plane." And he tweeted it. And then a guy saw it, and then it made the news. And so for 45 minutes before the news came, we saw the stuff. All right. Now, number 7 is a bit radical. The idea is that everything will be connected on one platform. All right. So, how many of you invest in the market? Okay. Facebook or Google? Place your bets. Yeah, we don't know. So, convergence means the act of moving towards union or uniformity. All right. Any of you have read George Orwell? That's a scary proposition, isn't it? But unlike Orwell's 1984, the power and the centralization of control now resides with us and a couple of large technology companies. So who do you trust? It's changed every single thing from governments to free markets, trade, currencies, communications, energy sector, education. You'd be very hard-pressed to find one thing in the world today that's not been profoundly impacted by social media. All right, for you guys, what kind of brand you are really depends on a self-evaluation, because there are 40 people here, and you all have very different companies and very different brands, and I only know a few of them. When I was going to college back in 1986, we figured out that there was, you heard about this product, price, place, promotion, the 4 P's of marketing? Yeah, we know that. It was drilled into us. All right. If you have the right product, if you have the right price, in the right place, with the right promotion, you win. Yeah. It's not that easy anymore, because the interactive web screwed everything up. Okay? People have power. They're less passive. The information finds you. The age of convergence. Right? Now we got to concentrate on 3 others. People. Instead of giving lip service to customer service, we actually have to provide superior customer service. So the best advice, people would say, "What's the best advice you can give me about social media?" And I say, "Don't suck." 2 words of advice. Whatever your company is, whether you're a government, whether you're delivering mulch, whether you're delivering tax and business solutions, or you were smiling at your customers at Village Bank, don't suck. Trust me. It will kill you. Social media will eat you alive. All right? So postmodern brands basically have to be derived either people-powered, process-powered, or physical evidence-powered. I'll give you some examples. Product brands. Apple. Who owns an Apple product? Okay, if I asked this question 10 years ago, it wouldn't have been that many, because they only had 6% of the computer market. And then innovation and product started popping through, and now you have something. Whether it's an iPhone, iPad, whatever you have, somebody's going to have something. 92% of all U.S. households have an Apple product, all right, of some sort. Price brands, okay? Price brands never win. And I'm going to get in trouble because they might be a member of one of the organizations here, but this is the final Saturday. Only at Hayes. When you put payments out to 2018 and you have a sale every single day, you become the Oriental rug dealer who advertises he's going out of business until he goes out of business. Right? Price brands never win. Please do not be a price brand. Place brands, distribution, how you get information. Netflix, distribution brand. They changed how you got your movies. What happened to Blockbuster? Boom. Right? You change and adapt, or you don't. Okay? And yeah, all right. Chick-fil-A, people brand. Love Chick-fil-A.
They only really sell chicken, but everybody.
They sell chicken, and it's not as good as that chicken, right?
Not everybody gets that. They don't sell.
But if you say thank you to a Chick-fil-A employee, they go, "It's my pleasure." Almost robotically. Because for 7 weeks before they ever talk to you as a customer, they've gone through an extensive training program. And they make about 70 cents more an hour than the Pizza Hut next door. People brand. McDonald's brand, process. McDonald's used to be a promotion brand, but they've changed. Domino's used to be a promotion brand, but they changed. Domino's reinvention. You know why the CEO is apologizing to Bryce in Minnesota for the cheese sticking to the top of the box? Because 3.5 years ago, there were some guys at a Domino's in North Carolina that did some disgusting things to a pizza, and they put it on YouTube, and it got 27 million hits. And the stock went down by half. And they waited 3 days to respond because the CEO said, we couldn't find that phone number to YouTube. True story. Mercedes, physical evidence. Not only is the experience of going to Mercedes one that's a very enjoyable thing, but they all have the logo where the logo's the same, it's been the same forever. The other thing is, you can take that 72 500 SL and you can give it to your grandkid and still know that it's gonna run, okay? That might be product brand, but it's also the physical evidence. They reinforce the physical evidence every single time, all right? What kind of brand are you? You know? The brand you are, if you identify with any of these, dictates one of these 5 strategies. All right. The vast majority of you, I hate to admit this, I hate to tell you, okay, but you're small businesses, right? And outside a certain circle, no one knows you exist. Would that be a fair assessment? Okay? So awareness for most small businesses is the #1 strategy. And you can build awareness through social media. If you are a company where you go to a networking event and they go, who do you work with? What is it? What's the name of that company? All right. You don't have to do a lot of market research to understand that you have low brand awareness. All right? So awareness should be the #1 strategy that you derive out of social media. So does that mean getting more fans on Facebook? Yes. Because 17 fans on Facebook does not create a lot of brand awareness, considering 12 of them are relatives, right? You know what a Facebook fan is worth? So we said it the other day, maybe Sam remembers from there. Anybody think, give me an idea, what do you think a fan is worth in terms of promotional value? Don't say everything, I'm looking for a numerical value. Huh? Dollar value of a fan is essentially for your company is worth between $3 to $7 a month in terms of promotional value. So if you were going to buy the airtime on local television, radio, newspaper, whatever else, you got 100 fans, that's like $700 worth of free advertising a month. That's not bad, is it? All right? So there's a value to having a fan. You can buy them through Facebook. You can put fan page ads in front of people, and the average cost is 20 to 30 cents per fan. Would you trade 20 or 30 cents per fan to get something that's worth $5 or $7 on the other end? Now you know why Google opened at $42. Because companies are doing this. And think about getting the awareness and getting the fans on Facebook right now is like the gold rush. Okay? If you wait too long, you're not going to get them. The age of convergence, when traditional media has less power and the power is among the people, if you collect the most people, you win. Does that make sense? All right, we have some nodding. I like that. I was worried after the chicken, man. I thought y'all all fall asleep. 2, let's say that you've had customer service issues. I got in trouble for saying this at another event, so I'm not going to identify the company, but this company had customer service issues. And a lady, a 95-year-old grandma in Northern Virginia, went into one of their offices and smashed 23 laptops with a hammer. A 95-year-old great-grandmother, Sunday school teaching great-grandmother, went into a local office of this company and busted up 23 laptops because their customer service was so poor. They have a challenge, would you say? All right, not saying that your customer service is completely broken, but if you have those challenges, okay, you need to be thinking about strategy 2. I was not a fan of Patient First until recently. I don't know if you've ever been to Patient First, 24-hour med center. I'm there on a Saturday morning and I'm kind of wondering, golly, I'm gonna have to spend my whole Saturday here because Junior, you know, my 10-year-old's got they call him Junior, he's not Junior. 10-year-old, he's got an earache. And so I go to Twitter and I go, this is great. I get to spend my entire Saturday morning at Patient First. sarcastically. Patient first responded back, "I'm sorry, Mr. Saunders. Would you like me to check with the charge nurse? I don't think the wait long's that bad on your Hull Street location." And I went, and I said, "Sure, knock yourself out." I thought it was just some gal sitting in a building in Chicago. They had no idea. She calls the charge nurse and she said, "They'll have you in about 10 minutes. Let us know if there's anything we can do to help you." Proactive customer service. What do your customers want you to do? They want you to listen. All right. So here's the evolution of customer service. In 1986, my dad bites into a Little Debbie fudge round. And he goes, "Ugh." And there was a piece of rubber tubing in it. That you've all had lunch, good. And he bites it and he says a few choice words and he throws it in the trash and then the wheels started churning, and about half an hour later he walks over and he grabs the thing and he wraps it up and he gets over on his Commodore 64. "Dear Mr. Little Debbie Snack Cake President, imagine my shock and horror today as I bit into a Little Debbie fudge round." And then it took him like a week to find out the address for Little Debbie. And then he sent it to him, and 7 weeks later, a truck pulls up with a gross, not a case, but a gross of every single product Little Debbie made. We were giving it away like government cheese, man. We had the cabinets full of it. I mean, it was terrible. It was terrible. We were handing out fudge rounds and snack cakes, and to this day, I walk through Kroger, I see that smiling little girl like a heebie-jeebie. So here's the thing. He had to wait 8 weeks for satisfaction, but he got it. Okay? But a couple years later, he would have gone to littledebbie.com, all right? And then what did we do? We went and said, I'm taking this. I bit into the fudge round, and I got that. And who do you contact? The webmaster. The guy in the basement, surrounded by his Star Wars action figures. He's not going to help you out, right? You can't get a hold of the president through the web. Nowadays, right, you can research and find out the president of the company. You can find him on Manta or Search or whatever else, and you can write him directly. Or you could show up at number 1 Skyway, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, and talk to Little Debbie Snack Cake President. But what am I going to do before that? I'm going to take a picture of it and post it on Twitter and say, "Oh my God, look what I just found in my Little Debbie fudge round." And if Little Debbie's listening, they'll be like patient first and provide the customer service proactively, right? How many of you are in professional services? Legal. Okay. Strategy 3 is an excellent one for you. Establishing your influence or positioning yourself as an expert. Okay? Unless you're not. But that's a great way to start. Because people trust referrals, right? But we don't stand over the fence in the backyard anymore and go, "Oh yeah, if you talk to that guy Gregory, yeah, he's a pretty good lawyer." We don't do that anymore. It's more than likely to happen over here, right? Or hey, I need help with my taxes. David Dye, yeah, he's a good job. That conversation is happening now online. All right? So establishing yourself through things like blogging and establishing your position of influence, your position or your influence is a good strategy. Number 4, let's say you have the best product at the best price and you're just the best in customer service. And I'm not going to blow smoke up their ass, but I'd say Yardworks, right? I would say, yeah, Yardworks. They're a very, very good company, right? I'm happy. Everybody buys mulch from them. They're okay, good, and they're my client. I have to say that, right? But customer engagement, all right? Having them talk to people is like an Apple brand, okay? And I'd say Yardworks is one of those brands. People admire the product, admire the people, admire the service, okay? And so customer engagement, they want to talk to you. They want to talk to you over and over and over, all right? That's a strategy, but you can only be there once you've ironed out the other issues. If you have the service issues, if you have the product issues, if you have the other, you have to be very careful. Fifth strategy, SEO, search engine optimization or social media optimization. Linking your website to a site that gets 1 billion users is a good idea if you post content. How many of you have a Facebook page and just never post anything on it? All right? You don't have to admit it. I know who you are. You have to post content in order to get the links back and forth. You have to put everything up there, and then you have to link them back to your site. The majority of companies in America that are active in social media still don't have the social media buttons installed on their website. So yes, they have a Facebook page that's not connected to their site, or a Twitter page that's not connected here. So connecting all those things is very important. All right, 7 things in 7 minutes. Are you ready? 7 tactics anybody can use. Number 1, improve your website. The majority of you are riding on the information superhighway in a beat-up 89 Yugo with 4 bald tires. Most websites stink. They really do. How many of you say, I love my company, but I hate my website? Yeah. I hear it a lot. Love my company, hate my site. You need to fix that. I know companies that spend more money on landscaping the front of their office building than on their websites. It's nice. You may have 20 people come visit you today, but you have 3.4 billion possible people that could visit your website. So look at the proportion, all right? Invest some money in that. There are many companies that could do that, not just mine. Look up in the Retail Merchants Association. There's probably 11, 12, 15 companies that could build you a really great website. Okay. Would you entrust the entire future of your company to a VCU sophomore? Oh yeah, I know a guy. This kid, he's a VCU, he's real smart. He's 19, he's going to build me one for $300.
Hey, I'm trying to find him.
Don't. And people are trying to find him. And the advice is don't. Okay? The same way that I wouldn't let the webmaster answer the phone, you know, it has been my customer service rep. Same thing. All right? 2, stake your claim. Even if you're not involved in social media. Okay? If you're not there yet, at least buy the name. Buy the name. Okay? Buy Twitter, I mean not buy the name, but secure the name. So if you're XYZ Plumbing, okay, go to twitter.com and sign up for twitter.com/XYZ Plumbing. Because your name, as more and more people get on these sites, you're not going to be able to get your name. Okay? Try to go find xyzplumbing.com, right? You can't find domains anymore. You know why? Coincidentally? You know why we can't find domains anymore? 2 reasons. Huh?
They've all been bought.
They've all been bought by the giant pharmaceutical companies and by cyber squatters in Florida. Grandma and Grandpa in the icebox down in Pensacola got into the habit 10 years ago of starting to buy domains for $7 a piece. Almost half of the unregistered domains are actually in Florida. And they're sitting on them because they think they're great investments. Because Grandpa thinks that xyzplumbing.com is worth $1 million, and no one can tell him otherwise. So those domains aren't available anymore. But at least with social media, you can't register them all. You can go out and get your name for your company. Get a blog. All right. Do I have to say anything more about it? Just get a blog. WordPress, it's free. Get one. All right.
But use proper grammar,
Proofs proper grammar, yes. That's important.
please.
Yes.
That people.
Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, yeah, it's a huge issue with Gen Y right now because they don't know how to spell. They've had spell check since they were 2. Create multimedia content, and by that I mean photos and videos and applications and anything else that you can make other than posts. There's a saying online: if you didn't see it, there wasn't a picture, that it didn't happen. Okay, so if there was no pictures taken today or no video taken today of the Powhatan Chamber, for the vast majority of millions of people that have access to information, it just didn't happen. Thankfully for you, I'm recording it. It's going to get 1 million hits on YouTube. All right, quality over quantity. Quality, all right. I have a realtor friend of mine who I had to unfriend on Facebook. He's a friend in real life, but he's not a friend on Facebook anymore. Because he posts 25 times a day about his open house that he's having this Saturday in the such and such neighborhood. I don't care. I'm not in the market. I'm not in the market in that neighborhood. The purpose of social media, if you take nothing away today, remember this. The purpose of social media is to turn your customers into friends, not the other way around. And the minute that companies understand that, they will succeed. You're not trying to turn your friends into customers. Quality over quantity. Cross-pollinate. Number 6. If you post it on one site, post it on the other. And connect the sites. An enormous amount of people don't do this. If you have this site, that site, and the other site, connect the sites. Connect those sites to your website. And put the content. And just because you posted it once on Facebook doesn't mean that 1 billion people saw it. Okay. At any given moment on Twitter, only 7% of the people that have a Twitter account are actually on Twitter. Okay? On Facebook, that number is about twice as much. So imagine you have 1,000 friends, 150 of them are online at any given moment. All right? So just because you put it in front of 1,500 people doesn't mean that you see it. So you have to cross-pollinate, you have to repost, but you can't be like the realtor and post too much. All right? And this is one of the best secrets I can give you is using Twitter as a PR tool. I refer to LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter as the holy trinity of social media. LinkedIn was first, Facebook became a big deal, Twitter's the Holy Ghost, nobody understands. Okay. LinkedIn, Facebook, and Twitter. So how many of you just shake your heads and you have no idea how to use Twitter? Or I don't even have a Twitter account, whatever else, but you keep hearing about it? And, okay, so I'm going to give you a strategy right now that makes Twitter, or makes sense for you, all right? Get an account, talk to people on Twitter the same way that you talk to them in real life, and then use it as a PR tool, okay? Would you like to have your company featured on First at 4 with Ryan Nobles? Or Fox News at 10? Wouldn't that be a good thing for your business? I think they feature Yardworks. You know how you do that? You talk to Ryan Nobles. Ryan Nobles doesn't answer the phone. Ryan Nobles rarely answers his emails. But Ryan Nobles will ping you back in 2 seconds if you tweet him. There's a list on my Twitter account called Virginia Media, and there are almost 900 reporters across the Commonwealth of Virginia on that account that you can follow, including people that work right here in Powhatan, or Hanover, or Chesterfield, or wherever. So if you want to get their attention and send them something, you can send them the press release, right? So did 5,000 other people today, but maybe only a couple of them took the chance to actually connect with them. All right? Got a couple minutes left, and I'll take some questions. And you guys have been very welcoming. Anybody have any questions, anything like that? Comments, scorn, ridicule? Final advice, follow me on Twitter, it's @Madison+Main.
I'm sure, and if David, would you be able to stay a little bit afterwards?
Absolutely,
To ask
more than happy to
questions? I
help.
know some people are going to try to get out of here, but we cannot thank you enough today.